I wanted to jump over to Draymond quickly. I don't know if you saw it or not. I just thought this was super cool, and actually one of the better points I've heard on this conversation. He was on a podcast called Throwing Bones, which is actually a really cool podcast. They play
Yeah.
dominoes.
Yeah, but dominoes.
And they asked him who is all time top five. Who's your all time top five? And I want to. It's about a minute long, so hang in with me. But he gives his top five, and then he explains why he's got somebody specifically at number one.
LJ number one, MJ number two, Kobe number three, Steph number four, and Shaq number five.
Okay.
You got Bron first.
Yes, because what Bron has done, like when you talk about Cicely Tyson,
Yeah.
Bron started in 03. By 2005, Bron was the best player in the NBA.
Yeah.
In 2020, he was still the best player in the NBA.
Sure.
He was the best player in the NBA no matter what the game did. The game went from two slugs, like slow big man, to like a stretch four big man, to like back to two big men, to like big man.
Me and you out there playing the bone of
Facts.
And he's been the best no matter what. When you look at the teams that Bron has carried to championship or carried to the finals, MJ didn't beat the greatest team ever assembled, nor did he run up against the greatest team ever assembled every year. You look at the skill set that Bron has. There's nobody that has ever played the game of basketball that can do what LeBron James does on a basketball court. Nobody.
So a little bit long there, but that's Draymond giving us reason why
Good.
It's good.
he felt LeBron was better than Jordan in his eyes.
Yeah, the thing about it, that's his opinion. He has a right to his opinion. You think about, was he the best player in 2000 between that era? No. Kobe had some of those days. You got to think about it. Even Kevin Durant had some of those days. Even Kevin Garnett. It's like, you look at it, it's like, okay, was LeBron great? Yes. Is he the great? Yes. Was he the best player every year? No. He's one of the best players every year, but he wasn't the best player every year.
Yeah.
And for me, it's different eras. And you look at the teams LeBron had. I only think LeBron had one team that he took to the finals that shouldn't have been there. And that was 07.
07 Cavs team?
07 Cavs team. But you see what happened to them, and they got swept by a team that was way
blown
better.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I understand what he's saying. Don't get me wrong. But here's what, when I judge who is the best players in the NBA, I don't look at what they can do. I look at what they can't do. I look at what MJ couldn't do, what Kobe couldn't do, what LeBron couldn't do, and that's how I rate them. And I think the most disrespectful thing about that top five is he left out Kareem. Kareem played in the era where you didn't have the technology that they had to make him a better person, but yet he did yoga. He had the sustainability, and he led the league in scoring. And you want to talk about bigs and being slow? I don't give a shit, because bigs are being slow, but then the guard, everybody's getting faster. The generations change, and everybody gets faster and they get better. So his list is good, but I'm sure you talk to someone else, their list is going to be a little bit different. And I respect that he put LeBron first. But some days LeBron is first, some days Kobe's first, some days Dream's first, some days Kareem's first. I don't think it's right for you to say who is the best player in the league, because now you can say who's the best two guard, best three, best four, best five. Maybe you can do that. But when you say the overall best player, I still say Kareem is, Kareem, MJ are still number one. Nobody ever talks about Kareem.
Now, let me ask you this. Based off his top five, and based off the fact that you said it's surprising that he left Kareem off, for whatever reason, is there somebody in his top five that he just named that you would have bumped and then put Kareem in?
I think I just dropped Steph. And there's no disrespect to Steph.
I think you're right. Yeah.
It's just because my personal opinion, when I look at top five players, I want you to play basketball on both ends of the floor. I want you to be a lockdown defender and a guy who can just knock down Jays. And Steph is a great hell of a player. He might be number 5A, 5B, how you want to see it. But I just think guys like Kareem who's blocking shots, guys like Dream who's blocking shots and scoring points, and that's what I look at. I look at the total package. Think about it. Dream and Giannis, two players that won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, and you trying to say they're not top five players? So it's just so many things that goes in this game and how you rate players. I don't rate players on scoring. I can give a shit about scoring. I just make up players who can play defense and play basketball, not one of these crazy quotes, a two-way player. That's the stupidest quote ever, because basketball is a two-way sport.
Are you talking about what Jaylen Brown said this week? He said him and Jason Tatum are the two best two-way players in the league.
Oh, no. They just been using that term forever. I just don't like the term two-way player. You got to be a basketball player, man.
Yeah, but I'll say this. Let me provide some pushback. And I do agree that I understand where you're coming from from the two-way standpoint of, dog, you play on both ends of the floor.
Yes.
So I definitely understand that. However, when I look at two-way player, I look at you're just as good of a defender as you are a scorer. That's not everybody. Like you got guys
that's practically
who are
nobody, actually.
well, okay, maybe
There's
not just as good.
A few people that can.
But that's what I'm saying. Like guys who take just as much pride on one end of the floor as they do the other. That ain't a whole lot, because a lot of guys don't have the effort or have the talent or capability to do so. So from that standpoint, when I hear two-way, I hear when healthy. Let's put when healthy. Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
When healthy, Anthony Davis. When healthy, you go back, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Down the line, LeBron was like that too. It wasn't like that early on. So when you hear
you just left out Giannis, man.
Right, well, I'm getting there.
Okay.
I got a couple. Look, It still ain't but a few. How many players has the NBA seen in its history?
A few.
Okay, so we ain't even talking about on both. I ain't even got both hands yet.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you got guys like that who are dominant on both ends, and they got the credentials to show for it. So when I hear two-way, from that standpoint, I look at it as he just as dominant on this end as he is on this end. You got to watch out for that.
But I get your point.
Yeah,
it's the equivalent of Major League Baseball players. I love to hit, but I don't field for shit.
Oh, that's why they got. Oh, for baseball, it's called five-tool player.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also why we have designated hitters.
Yeah,
like this guy can swing the lumber, but he can't field for nothing.
Now, if you ask this question in North Carolina or Texas, Tim Duncan's a top 5. So people forget about him.
Yeah.
And we had a Tim Duncan sighting the other night.
Oh yeah,
it was a Tim Duncan sighting.
That dude looks so fucking old, man. I'm like, damn, Tim.
I was like, bro, are you living under the 405, man? You gotta clean yourself, get a haircut. You
look old as shit,
bro.
Tim don't.
I'm like, care. I'm older than you, Tim. I look way better than you, man. What's up with that?
Tim don't care.
That's the clickbait from this week's show, man. Robert Horry says he looks better than Tim Duncan, and he's